Hey, good day, folks. Welcome to another edition of Lumberjack Logic Live. I'm your host, Neil Johnson. Looks like we finally got this thing to take. Let me know if you see me out there in the chat. Because StreamYard kept telling me I couldn't go live. So please do smash that like, chat in with where you're from. Let's see who's on the stream. Is anybody on the stream? I'm concerned with the way StreamYard was acting here, trying to get the stream going. But we've got great news, folks. This is wild. Alex Padilla, U.S. Senator from California, was arrested. He was formerly a Secretary of State, and he worked to have people locked up, had their Twitter accounts locked up. Okay, so this is pretty wild. I just got my notification. Hopefully everybody's, yes, do we see? Okay, all right, folks, good. Utah's on. All right, so away we go, folks. I'll mention my sponsor really quickly. That's Birch Gold, folks. You know, get your free info kit on gold by texting the word Lumberjack to 9889898. No obligation, just useful information. I've been a big investor in gold and silver, folks. Silver is way out of line historically with gold right now. It seems to be a good buy, and it is climbing rapidly here lately. But you can text Lumberjack to 989-898. Central banks are still buying gold in record quantities. There does not seem to be a slowdown. Same holds true for silver, precious metals. I'm a believer. All right. So with all that being said, folks, let's get into the news here. So Alex Padilla, literally, when he was Secretary of State, he was having people locked out of their X accounts, working with old Twitter simply for spreading a narrative he didn't agree with. So I'm just going to show you the video. Some of you have probably seen this, some of you hadn't. But this is California U.S. Senator Alex Padilla. He just got dragged out of Kristi Noem's press conference after he crashed the event to cause chaos. Someone put this guy in jail. Now, some of you are probably going to go, whoa, they can't do this to U.S. Senator. We're going to talk this all through, so stick with me. I've got some interesting thoughts on this.
I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the Secretary, because the fact of the matter is a half a dozen violent criminals that you're rotating on your...
Okay, now I want you to notice something. He's not in a suit. He doesn't have his Senate pin on. Okay, there's nothing to identify him as a senator. I'll be honest. I didn't know who this guy was, and I follow politics a lot. I have not really followed Alex Padilla. How many of you guys, I'm just serious about this now. How many of you, if you saw Alex Padilla, would know who he is? Please. I'm very serious about this question in the chat. I need to know, is this just me? How many of you would be able to identify this guy? Never heard of him. Not me. No. Is there any yeses? I still don't know who he is. He's a U.S. Senator from California. Not me. Never heard the name. Look at this. So not a one of you would have been able to identify this guy either. And yet he's acting like it's the crime of the century because he got put in the handcuffs. And I'm going to show you that video here in just a second. Look at this. Yeah, nobody in my chat. We follow politics. We follow news all the time. None of us knew who Alex Padilla was. Okay. This is nuts. Okay. No, but a lot of people are saying that Kristi Noem let him off the hook. Steve Daughter. Yes. Actually, she had a nice conversation with him, apparently, she said, which is fine. Whatever. But I want to ask you a question. Now, watch him. Okay, look at this. Get your hands off me. Let me ask you a question. If you did this to law enforcement officers, what would happen to you?
Jobs for doing their duty, how they have been targeted.
He literally just barged right into this press conference. So he just pushes forward. Okay, nobody knows who he is. I didn't know who he was, and now he's trying to tell them all he's Senator Alex Padilla. Well, who cares? Now, what's really interesting about this, and as we go through this, folks, this is really wild because all of these Democrats are coming and saying this is the red line of all red lines. I don't see it that way. Here, I'm going to show you from another angle.
Hands up. I'm Senator Alex Padilla. Okay. I have questions for the Secretary, because the fact of the matter is a half a dozen violent criminals that you're rotating on your
Hands off me. I am Senator Alex Padilla. Okay. Now, Robbie Starbuck had some thoughts on this. Honestly, Senator Alex Padilla should face charges for fighting with DHS agents today. If any of us did this, we'd be facing charges. He didn't identify himself ahead of the event, didn't wear his Senate security pin. DH thought he was a crazy guy trying to attack Kristi Noem. And now they're trying to use this as this optic of, oh, it's the worst thing that's ever happened in the history. Look at him. He's trying to push right through law enforcement. I am telling you, if you did this, folks, you would be arrested. You would 100% be arrested. But this guy, oh, he's above the law now? Is he above the law? As U.S. Senator, is Alex Padilla above the law? I thought no one was above the law. And yet now, I'm gonna skip ahead here. Let me see. I want you to listen to Cory Booker. No, wait. I'll save Cory Booker for. Oh, wait. No. Folks, I just got to share one. This I brought in just for the funny. Get ready to laugh. We'll probably play it twice just so you can catch it. Okay. Want you to listen to what he says. Okay, here we go.
I shot me in the nuts, and now I'm losing a ball. Surgery is tomorrow.
Okay, did you guys get what he said? I shot me in the nuts. Now I'm losing a ball. Surgery is tomorrow as he eats a sandwich. This is probably some TikTok video that, okay. And he eats a sandwich. Now, the best is Chrissy Clark, who I've actually met. I met her out at the Can't Lose What You Never Had. Oh my gosh. Actually, Chrissy Clark was the one did I interview her for Frank's speech? I think I did. But let's play it again. If you just joined, check it out.
I shot me in the nuts, and now I'm losing a ball. Surgery is tomorrow.
Okay, now that we've had our funny, all right, let's go back. Okay. And no, I got so many options for you here, folks. Here it is. A somber Pete Buttigieg said his stomach is queasy after watching Senator Alex Padilla get arrested. Says President Trump has crossed the reddest line ever. Okay. Buttigieg put his sad eyes on to tell people about how distraught he is, folks. Get ready. It's Mayor Pete.
Hey, it's Pete. Like so many people around the country, I just saw something that made my stomach turn.
Hey, how many of you in my lovely audience how would you describe this? Did your stomach turn when you saw what I just showed you?
Didn't think that I would see, even under this administration. A United States senator pushed to the ground and handcuffed after asking questions of a federal government official.
Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back.
He's getting the cuffs now.
All right, cool. What are we supposed to do about that? Well, first of all, we name what just happened, which is that the Trump
What are we supposed to do about this, folks? Are you concerned?
Government has crossed one of the reddest of red lines
Reddest
that can
of
exist
red.
in a free society. Any salute to the flag or talk of patriotism or American greatness is completely hollow.
Okay. I don't know. I thought that no one was above the law, Mayor Pete, and he just barged in. Folks, if you're enjoying this, I mean, pulling all these videos together for you and stuff, and so you don't have to sit here and filter through X and find all these things, smash that like if you would, please. Okay? Please smash that like. Do go support Mike Lindell too at mypillow.com/lumberjack or call 1-800-568-2865. The best deals on the best sleep products available. All right, back to Mayor Pete.
If you do not respect the freedoms that flag represents, the Constitution that directs the course of this country, and they've shown
These people, the way they do their speeches to a phone and do their stilted speech where they stop and pause and they're trying to get you to just feel so bad for Alex Padilla. Okay. Look, they were throwing people who walked through the Capitol who got let into jail, and they didn't care one bit about free speech.
What they think of those freedoms in that Constitution. Now what? Well, much will depend on the courage of members of the Senate and the House, especially Republicans. This kind of thing is designed to make them more afraid. Our job as American citizens is to make sure that they realize they have more politically to lose by riding the tiger of this out-of-control administration, which will sooner or later eat them too, than going along with it. That's going to take all of us raising our voices like never before so that something like this can never happen again.
Folks, I got to tell you, I'm really concerned. I'm, like Mayor Pete, I'm so concerned about this stuff. Hold on. Gets better. Let's listen to Cory Booker now. The rage machine is out there, folks.
He was at that press conference doing his job, asking questions about what is taking place in California, the state that he represents, and on behalf of the American people. And he was recklessly and aggressively manhandled. That was unacceptable. It was unconscionable. It was unpatriotic. It's un-American. And every single person who was involved.
Okay, now, folks, these will be the new words coming out: unpatriotic and un-American. Watch this. This will be all over the news tonight. I guarantee it. The Mockingbird media will get its clues from the DNC, and these will be the words. How much do you guys want to bet? I'll anybody who wants to, I'll bet $100 on this right now. If you want to take me up on that, put it in the chat. I'll figure out how to get it done. But there is no way that these aren't the words they're going to use.
In manhandling, Senator Padilla should be held accountable to the full extent of the law.
Yes.
So this is not going to end until there is accountability and until the Trump administration changes its behavior. This administration is not about law and order. It's about lawlessness and disorder. And that's what we've seen from day one of the Trump administration. He was at that press conference doing his job, asking.
Okay, is anybody to take me up on my bet? Anybody? Un-American, unpatriotic. That's the words. I'm telling you. And does anybody want to bet me that this isn't going to be all over the mainstream media tonight? No. Debs will not take me up on the bet. No. Okay. Exactly. Perhaps he should have entered, attended, and questioned respectfully. Instead, he barged in. Okay. It's just dumb. These people are just ridiculous. Wait. Does somebody want to? Cece, are you saying you want to take me up on the bet? Are you the one? Let me tell me again if you want to take me up on this bet, because I am telling you, un-American and unpatriotic are the words tonight. Is that what you were saying yes to? They might be at a different point in the stream. I'll bet all the money in my pocket. Whatever Warrior Class USA. We all know you will win. I know I will lose. Yeah, okay. I agree that the narrative will be read. Okay, all right. So nobody wants to take me up on the bet. That's fine. That's fine. I didn't think you would. You're a smart audience. I have not played Spartacus for you yet. Here he is. Watch this.
And this son of Mexican immigrants who clean homes and serve food.
Hold on. Now they're going. I'm so sorry, folks. I do my 2-speed. I thought I changed them all back. There. Okay. No, we should be at 1 times. Now listen, they're going to come up with a sob story about his past life too. Okay. Smash that like if you would, please.
And this son of Mexican immigrants who clean homes and serve food. This man with equal dignity in this body today was driven violently to his knees. As if made to kneel before the authority of the executive because he was so-called disrespectful. That should offend the consciousness, not just of the other 99 members of this.
It's so funny. Okay. Forced to kneel to the power of the executive. No, he was put in handcuffs because he was acting like a moron. I am going to remind you, because you are going to hear this constantly tonight, and you're going to hear it from friends. Oh my gosh, Trump is a dictator. They put cuffs on a U.S. senator. He's out. He's fine. Nothing. He didn't identify himself. I am telling you, if you would have pushed law enforcement around like that guy did, Alex Padilla, you would be in jail. Don't buy their crap for a minute.
Body, it should offend the conscience of this country. Because if you can make Alex Padilla forcibly kneel before this executive, when does it stop? He's a United States senator. And if you could force him to kneel to his knees violently, when does it stop?
He's a United States senator. See, folks, they do think they're above the law. Now, would they be crying if somebody had gone into Cory Booker's press conference and barged in a normal citizen? Okay. And would that be on the news? Would they be upset about that? Would they be upset about you or I getting arrested for pushing back against law enforcement like that at one of their press conferences? These people are fakes, phonies.
What does it say to other Americans who want to speak up? What does it say to other Americans that want to exercise their constitutional duty? What does it say to other Americans this weekend when they want to peacefully protest? What does it say to other Americans from humble backgrounds?
From humble backgrounds. I'll tell you what it says. Look at his face. It's always contorted when I stop it. I'll tell you what it says, folks. Don't push police officers around. Don't push federal law enforcement around. That's what it says. It says that exact same thing, which is probably a good message to put out before this weekend and their stupid No Kings protest.
Who know poverty. That if a United States senator who stands up to do his job can be made to heel, driven to his knees, violently handcuffed, what does it say? What message does it send? Everybody in this body should see that this is a crossroads. They treated a member of the United States Senate violently after he identified himself, dragged him out of a room, threw him upon the ground, and put him in handcuffs. Every member of this body should object to that.
Again, I asked at the beginning, and now there's new people on. How many of you in the chat knew who Senator Alex Padilla was before this date? You could identify him. Those agents didn't know who he was. All of these people are so self-important, they think everybody's supposed to recognize him. These people did not recognize him. He did not have his Senate security pin on. He did not have a suit on, nothing of the sort. He just said, I'm a senator from California. I'm Senator Alex Padilla from California. I didn't even know his name. I'm sure that these agents who are protecting Kristi Noem didn't know his name either, as he barged up to her. And then he tries to tell him he's a U.S. senator. They don't know that. They don't know that. Not everybody knows who you are when you're a U.S. senator. It's unbelievable. These people are pathetic.
Why? Because the statement was that he was disrespectful. That is unacceptable. That is offensive. That is un-American. And so why is there silence right now? Why aren't my...
Whoa, folks. There it is. I had not watched this speech this far. Now we've got the second un-American. Second, I'm telling you, this is going to be all over the news. Un-Americans, their words, the word. Unpatriotic and un-American.
My colleagues saying, I don't care if it's a Republican, a Democrat, or an independent. When you drive a man to his knees in the United States of America, that is wrong, that is wrong, that is wrong. This is a test. This is a crossroads. This is a day in which the character of this body will be defined.
Look at that, folks. So they really think that everybody's supposed to know who they are and they're that important. Okay? Now, I'm going to show you something else. Let me, I have to search this. I saw it earlier just to show you guys. One of the people, I think it was DC Drano. Let's see here. He shared the Here it is. When Alex Padilla, listen to this, folks, was Secretary of State of California, his office sent an email to Twitter 1.0 saying that DC Drano is spreading election misinformation. Weeks later, I was banned for election misinformation for almost 2 years. I know I'm back on X with 2.2 million followers, and he's getting arrested. Feels good. Not everybody sees this the same way as Alex Padilla. Here he is getting arrested.
On your back.
Okay, so usually, and Cory Booker's running around driving to their knees. That's what happens when people get arrested. They get forced to their knees, to the ground, because he was acting like an emotional nut job. Okay?
Get on my hands. Go ahead. Find behind my back.
All right. Cool. One hand. Lay flat. Lay flat. Other hand, sir. Other hand.
I guarantee you these officers didn't know who he was. I cover politics. I did not know who this guy was. I could not have identified him.
I do not know. There's no recording allowed out here per FBI rights.
So, and what's really interesting about this is that none of you knew either. So do you guys want to see him crying now afterwards? Here we go. So he held a press conference afterwards because you got to hold a press conference. Let's do it.
Senator Alex Padilla. So you guys have some questions. I'm going to read a brief statement. I will not be taking questions, but allow me to read my statement. I'm here in Los Angeles today, and I was here in the federal building, in the conference room, awaiting a scheduled briefing from federal officials as part of my responsibility as a senator to provide oversight and accountability. While I was waiting for the briefing with General Guillot, I learned that Secretary Noem was having a press conference a couple of doors down the hall. Since the beginning of the year, but especially over the course of recent weeks, several of my colleagues have been asking the Department of Homeland Security for more information and more answers on their increasingly extreme immigration enforcement actions.
Okay, does anybody in my chat seriously, and I mean this with all seriousness, think that the immigration enforcement actions are extreme? It looks to me like they're simply enforcing the law. That's what it looks like to me.
And we've gotten little to no information in response to our inquiries. And so I came to the press conference to hear what she had to say, to see if I could learn any new additional information. And at one point, I had a question. And let me emphasize, just as we've emphasized the right for people to peacefully protest and to stand up for their First Amendment rights, for our fundamental rights. I was there peacefully. At one point, I had a question. And so I began to ask a question. I was almost immediately forcibly removed from the room. I was forced to the ground, and I was handcuffed. I was not arrested. I was not detained. I will say this. If this is how this administration responds to a senator with a question, if this is how the Department of Homeland Security responds to a senator with a question, you can only imagine what they're doing to farm workers, to cooks, to day laborers out in the Los Angeles community and throughout California and throughout the country. Senator.
Yeah, so there he is. He cried he's in tears there, folks, at the end. He's in tears. It's so bad. So that's what's going on up there. I think I had, well, here, I might want to, here, I got one more. This is such a great one. Okay, here it is. Maze Moore posted this. This is so awesome. He said, good for Alex Padilla. If you're going to grandstand and cause a disturbance for some political theater, fully commit to the act. Get yourself handcuffed. Faking it just doesn't move the needle. And there's AOC faking handcuffs. Look at the cop right here. Look at his face looking down at this. Like, what the heck? You know, and she's just holding her hands there. She's not handcuffed. You guys see this? Do you remember this? Greta Thunberg appears to fake being handcuffed as she arrives in France after being deported from Israel. Okay. No one's above the law, folks. Joe Biden said so. So that's what's going on. Again, go check out my sponsor, MyPillow, mypillow.com/lumberjack. You have got to go up here, man, the /lumberjack. If you do not put that in, you will not get this deal on the Giza sheets. And even if you have another promo code, okay, you won't get $49.98 any color, any size on Giza sheets. It's the best deal going. There's $69.98 with the other promo codes. This is exclusive to us and 2 others, okay? And then you got the next the Rev 7 energy drink, folks. Go get yourself some. You'll love them, okay? It's my new pre-workout drink. But that's what's going on, man. It's pretty exciting. I mean, there's news dropping every day, okay? Keep fighting the good fight, folks. Remember this. Remember this. When you're talking to people about this, ask them if they resisted federal agents, if they would be arrested. Now, Alex Padilla was not arrested. He was simply removed and cuffed. He wasn't even detained. I'm sure he got identified and they're like, okay, we'll let him go. Whatever. Because apparently he is above the law. Okay. Christy Nome had a nice conversation with him afterwards, but they didn't trust him. Okay. Lisa Kennedy says, I love the sheets and the blueberry citrus Rev 7. Thank you for that comment, Lisa. Yeah, it's fantastic stuff. Anyways, keep fighting the good fight, folks. We'll see you on the next episode, all right? They're going to tell you all this oh, no, it's the bridge too far. No, it's not. You would have been arrested.